Okay, so I want to do one final example where we use a loop, and I have the array, so I'm going to keep all of this code. Okay, but what I want to do, let me get rid of this. We're not doing minimum anymore. Okay, I'm going to remove what is inside here. Okay, so what I want to do is for each number that is in the array, I want to determine if the number is even or odd. Okay, and so for that I want to introduce to you the modulus operator. Okay, so this is called modulus. Okay, so you might know it as the percent sign. Okay, you might know it as the percent sign. However, in programming, we refer to it as the modulus operator, and it has a special purpose. Its purpose is to determine the remainder when dividing two integers. Okay, so let me get rid of this. Okay, so it's used to determine whether there is a remainder after dividing two numbers. So let me give you an example. Okay, if I have 4 and I divide 4 by 2, okay, then we expect that it will be 2. However, the remainder will be 0. Okay, right? It divides evenly. 2 divides evenly into 4. And likewise, if I took 5 and I divided it by 2, then we also get back 2. However, there's a remainder of 1. Now, we all learned this in high school. So how do I use the modulus operator to get this remainder, 0 or 1? Well, to do that, I'm simply going to say 4 modulus 2. Okay, and the computer will give me back 0. And why does it give me back 0? Because the modulus operator tells the computer to do two things. The first thing, divide 4 by 2, and the second thing, give me the remainder. All right, and so in this case it's 0. Likewise, if I have 5 modulus 2, then the computer again will be instructed to do two things. Divide 5 by 2 and return the remainder, which of course is 1. Okay, so 4 modulus 2, 0. 5 modulus 2, 1. Again, the 0 means 0 remainder, and the 1 means 1 remainder after doing the division. Alright, so why is this important? Because it turns out that we can use the modulus operator to check if a number is even or odd. Okay, and clearly you can see when a number is even, the remainder is 0. Right? Modulus 2, the remainder is 0. And when the number is odd, modulus 2 leaves remainder 1. Alright, so we're going to use this to help us determine if a number is even or odd. So let's do that. I'm going to come here, and the first thing I'm going to do is to ask the question. Alright, I'm going to say if the value that I'm looking at, modulus 2, okay, whatever that gives me, is the same, it's equal to 0, then we know that it's an even number. And if it's an even number, I want to simply say cout the value is even. Okay? All right. Okay. So let's keep going. So having a problem here, okay, and that is right, I forgot to change the double. Okay, so this should not be double, this should be an integer. Okay, okay, integers are whole numbers. All right, so good. So if the number modulus 2 is 0, then this of course becomes 0 is equivalent to 0, which is true, right? So if that turns out to be true, then we know the number is even. Otherwise, we know that the number is odd, because an integer can either be even or odd. It cannot be both. Okay, so if it's even, then we print it's even. Otherwise, it must be odd, so we print it's odd. Okay, so let's check this out and see if it works. Okay, so if I enter something like -2, 11, 9, 4, 7, right? Then we get 11 is odd, 9 is odd, 4 is even, 7 is odd. Okay, but I would have liked for these to be on their own line. So let's fix that. Let's put a new line operator. Okay. Okay, and let's try it again. -2, -11, 90, 11, 33, and of course now we get -11 is odd, 90 is even, we get 11 is odd, and 33 is odd. Okay, so that's how we would actually find whether a number is even or odd. Okay, again, all I'm doing is using a loop because we're dealing with an array, and this time we're putting in a condition. Okay, we're asking a question. We're using an if-else, and so this is very common whenever you're programming. In many cases, we'll be using a loop, and inside the loop, we'll be making a decision. Okay, so this is a very common pattern that I want you to get used to. Okay, so one thing you can do, instead of only printing out whether the number is even or odd, another thing you can do is to actually calculate how many of the numbers are even and how many of them are odd. Okay, so that's something you can try. Add some code whereby at the end you will tell the user how many numbers they entered that were even and how many numbers that they entered that was odd. All right, I'll leave it here and good luck with this little exercise.